Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Yes.
Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
I like the sound of that.
where we talk about the movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
All right, this is getting cooler the more we talk about it.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
We love shitty movies, sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we do love the shit out of movies. And this week, we have our first Christmas movie of the Christmas season. It's the 1989 Chevy Chase classic, National Lampoons Christmas Vacation. And BJ, I love it when I'm shitting bricks.
Don't say that.
Oh, my bad. I mean shitting rocks.
There you go. Jacob, don't forget the rubber sheets and gerbils.
Merry Christmas, the shitter's full.
I am food additive specialist, BJ Leica.
And I am Carolina Leghound, Jacob Ekus.
Yes, he does hump people's legs.
All the time. Like Kobayashi.
All right. Are you ready to talk about our first Christmas movie? Because it's December, bro.
It is December, and we're in full swing of the Christmas festivities in the good old state of Texas.
So we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, described by HBO Max as the Griswolds spend the holiday in a garish way, especially when a country cousin pulls up in an RV.
Okay. There you go, HBO.
Nobody gets to the point better than HBO, right?
No, HBO is like, this is what you're getting into.
7.5 out of 10 from IMDb, 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 49% on Metacritic.
Wow, that's a range.
That's quite the range, because 7.5 on IMDb is usually a solid movie. 70% on Rotten Tomatoes is kind of average, and 49% on Metacritic is kind of bad.
Not even kind of bad. 49% on Metacritic's a bad movie.
So critics kind of split on this movie. What do you think? What do you think our buddy Raj thought about it?
See, I have a hard time with this one because Roger likes his movies not trying to be anything that they're not. But I don't know if I've ever cared to figure out what Roger Ebert feels about a Christmas movie. So this is just a
Go
shot
with your gut.
Yeah,
Go with your gut.
I'm gonna say he didn't like it.
2 out of 4.
Nice, I win that one.
I'll give you credit for that. Because I'd say a 2 is probably a movie that Roger didn't like. He starts the review talking about how Gus Griswold has, this being the third movie in the National Lampoon's Vacation trilogy. He says that Clark Griswold kind of has become the emblem for all that is sweet and most affectional as a Hollywood husband. But for him, the biggest problem with this is not necessarily the comedy. It's not necessarily Chevy Chase. It's definitely not Randy Quaid. It's, for some reason, it just misses on the comedy mark just about every time. He thinks about every scene is really close to being great, but just none of them hit that mark. And it seems that it's a lot to do. He essentially thinks there's too many characters that don't get enough screen time.
Okay. I never thought this movie reaches potential in comedy either. I was very underwhelmed by this movie. So I'm right there with you, Raj.
This is this is a really, really good review. If you haven't read it, I suggest you check it out. It's a really good review, and I think he really nails it as a critic. But I can't read the entire review on this podcast because we're trying to get this bitch done with in about an hour.
Yeah, easy, especially for hour 37-minute movie.
He says he ends the review with, "You have the odd sensation watching the movie that it's straining to get off the ground, but simply doesn't have the juice."
Yeah, this movie did not have the juice. It needed the fucking juice.
Little OJ in this movie, baby.
Yes. Give me a little OJ, a little white Bronco. Let's go, baby.
Little Al Cowlings driving slowly.
Hell yeah. Drive slow, baby. Drive slow, baby. That's Paul Wall and Kanye. Love that song. Anyways, how well did this movie do in the box office?
It killed, right? It had to. Vacation was popular. European Vacation was popular. This movie had to kill on the box office, right?
I mean, you know it did. So it had a $25 million budget in 1988, which is $60 million today. Or in 89 when it came out, it made $74 million.
$60 million for a budget on a comedy is pretty damn big, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
It sounds like it to me.
Oh, no, I guess you're right, because the budget for The Hangover is only $35 million.
Yeah, and The Hangover is a full 2-hour movie. This movie's 95 minutes.
I wonder what the budget is on Superbad. Now you have me curious, because at first I was like, no, $60 million isn't too bad of a budget on a comedy movie, but now Superbad had $20 million.
Yeah, this is triple the budget of that. This is a huge budget for a comedy, and I'm assuming a lot of it went to Chevy Chase.
It had to have, right?
Oh yeah, third movie in the sequel. He's the star. He's kind of the comedian of the late 80s.
Jeez, even This Is the End had a $32 million budget with the cast that it had.
All right, so I was right. 60 million is a huge ass budget for a comedy.
Yes, I'm looking up Tropic Thunder because that one has to have a huge budget, right? Like that one has to be 60.
That's a borderline action movie, man.
Okay, $92 million. But we had to go to a borderline action movie. Borderline action comedy to find something like that. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so big budget, and it made all its money back, but not in an insane way.
So we know what it did in the box office. Kind of mixed reviews, both critics and audience. You just saw this movie for the first time. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was 100% just okay.
100% okay.
Yep, I fought sleep at the end, trying to stay awake through this movie. Now, granted, I was watching this movie late at night, but I didn't even care to bother. You know, like normally I'd have been like, let me finish this last 15 or 20 minutes in the morning. I'm just like, I can fight it. Because I just really hadn't enjoyed it up to that point. And if I hadn't enjoyed it up to that point like I should have, let's just finish it now. What'd you think?
I thought it was funny, but not hilarious. I thought it was charming to a point. I thought it was a good, solid movie. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm in Central Florida and watch this movie in 80-degree weather wearing shorts. But watching it this time, I didn't really care for it.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. I just kind of thought it was pretty good. I don't want to say I didn't care for it. That's a little harsh.
But fair enough. So, what I liked about the movie, I mean, I liked the fact that it was a good, wholesome Christmas movie. like National Lampoon and Chevy Chase and whatnot. Like I didn't expect it to be as wholesome as it was. Like they were just trying to have a good Christmas vacation. I love that about the movie. That was probably my favorite thing about the whole movie. It's just about a family trying to enjoy their Christmas vacation and wanting to do a big family Christmas, which we all know never fucking goes well.
Never, especially when you have that many people involved.
Mm-hmm. And the comedy aspects I did enjoy. I wanted it to be funnier. Like everything that I've heard about this movie, I just wanted it to be funnier, but I still enjoyed them. What'd you like about the movie?
The first thing I got to say is Randy Quaid steals the fucking show. This movie completely turns when Randy Quaid shows up. And I really enjoyed kind of how memeable this movie is. And I'm kind of surprised there's not more memes from this movie.
That's because people younger than me at 30 don't find 80s comedies funny. So why would they make memes about a movie they don't think is funny to begin with? Because that's the people making most of the memes.
Yeah, but like the meme of the Christmas tree with the roots and all attached to the station wagon is fucking hilarious.
No, that is a very funny scene and it's hilarious, but you got to watch the movie to realize that there's scenes like that that are in this movie to make memeable, and they just know that it's a 1980s Christmas movie. That's a comedy. Like they don't want to watch that. But you're right, because I didn't even think of that when I was watching this movie last night. But this is a very memeable movie, and that goes into like the wholesome aspect of this movie that I enjoy just at Christmas. Like the first scene when they finally find the tree and the kid's like, "Did we bring a saw?" Fantastic. That's a meme right there.
Yeah. Did we bring a saw is a great line. But I guess you're right. No one's making memes from movies prior to about 2008, right?
That's what I think. Otherwise, we'd have Austin Powers memes.
So thinking it was mediocre, what did you not like about it?
It just everything about it could have been done better. Minus
okay.
minus the it just being a wholesome Christmas movie. I thought that was done perfectly. But just like the comedy, I guess no, just the comedy. Just the comedy could have done better. The actors had great chemistry. The timing of everything was great. The writing, the wholesomeness, like everything was good. It's just I'm coming into this movie knowing it's a National Lampoons movie, and I expected it to be twice as funny, 3 times as funny.
If this movie is rated R, it loses the wholesomeness. But how much does it gain in the comedy if this is an R-rated movie?
A lot. But you're right, it does lose the wholesomeness if it's rated R. Which is my favorite thing about this movie. But I still think they could have done it.
Yeah, so there's nothing you like hated. You just kind of thought the movie was floating by being the third movie in a comedy trilogy and a Christmas movie, that it really didn't take those bold chances that you really want to see comedies take.
Exactly.
I feel that. A couple of the things I didn't like. One, I thought the writing was kind of weak. I thought pretty much all the funny parts in this movie were kind of physical comedy and not really from the lines outside of Merry Christmas, the shitter's full. I did not understand the Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her husband characters. I have no idea why they were in it.
That's okay. I loved them in it. They were some of my favorite parts. Every time they were in it, like, bend over and I'll show you. You can't talk to me like that. Wasn't talking to you. I loved every time they were on the screen.
Because it seemed like they hated Clark Griswold, but Clark Griswold didn't necessarily hate them.
Yeah. Whatever it was, I don't know. I didn't get it either, but this is your list of things you didn't like, and they were one of my favorite parts of this movie.
I really agree with Raj in you didn't get to know enough of, like, especially the in-laws. There's so much great room for in-law comedy, especially in a Christmas movie, and they kind of abandon that. And the last thing I'm going to say is I like Chevy Chase. I like Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold. I thought they should have put about 75% of the amount of Clark Griswold in this movie and let the in-laws do a little more, let the family do a little more, let those side characters outside of Cousin Eddie be a little more involved in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can agree with that. I like those notes. So was this a good or a bad movie?
I think it's good. I would not put it anywhere above good, but I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's an okay movie. So if I'm strictly answering, is it a good or a bad movie? It's a good movie. It's not bad, but it's just okay.
You ready to get deep into this movie?
Oh, just about as deep as I can go, or as I like to say, balls deep.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
That's because I like to get minimum that deep every time.
So go ahead, Mr. Virgin.
My fourth favorite scene is the sledding scene. It's the first activity we get after Cousin Eddie shows up.
Same. That's my fourth too. So go ahead. I'll let you talk about it, and I'll add some things at the end.
I love the fact that Cousin Eddie is clearly the crazy one, and he's just like, count me out of that shit.
Oh, everyone's got a redneck family member, and unfortunately, both of our significant others are not white, so we are the de facto white trash cousins of the family.
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
Very much so. And I pull it off really well. But I just love as soon as he starts sledding, just a shooting bottle rocket. And I love how long it went. I thought it was going to end about 15 seconds before it did. And maybe I'm overshooting. Maybe I thought it was going to end like 5 or 7 seconds before it actually did. But then it went longer than I thought it was going to. And I'm like, this made it better.
Oh, and this is by far probably the shortest scene we've ever had on this podcast because it's a 45-second scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a minute. Minute 15. Maybe.
But it's a hilarious 45-second scene.
I loved it.
I like how he takes the stuff from his job and rubs it on the sled. I love the absurd just fire shooting out of it when he starts going down the hill.
Yes.
And I know this isn't part of the scene, but when Cousin Eddie finds the sled where the bottom is just frictioned off of it,
yes,
in the pile of trash,
yes,
I was like, yeah, I remember that scene. It was great.
So my third favorite scene is the intro drive scene.
The Christmas tree, the roots hanging off the Christmas tree of the station wagon.
Yep.
Classic scene.
Yeah.
Classic.
It was so funny in the car singing the Christmas carols because when the little boy rolls his eyes, I'm just like, that's me as a kid. That's me as a kid right there. On the way on the way to the Christmas tree farm. That's an hour and a half away from where I live because my family insists on cutting the fucker down. We all have to go together, and we're singing fucking Christmas songs on the way there. That's me.
And both the kids are at an age where, like, Christmas is no longer magical.
Yeah.
And Clark wants it so bad to be magical, and they just don't want to hang around with old people all weekend.
Yep.
And that's what they have to do.
Yep. And then you have the truck trying to run him off the road. That was so funny. Such a funny scene. But yeah, that's my third favorite scene. What's your third favorite scene?
So I'm going to warn you, I cheated big time in this Mount Rushmore.
That's okay.
Big time. My third favorite scene is anytime Chevy Chase is messing with the lights.
Okay. I can accept that. My second favorite scene is the first time he messes with the lights.
When he falls off the ladder?
When he falls off the ladder, the ice thing goes into Julia Louis-Dreyfus, her house. I was trying to think of her name on Seinfeld. I'm sorry that I couldn't remember.
Elaine.
As soon as it went into Elaine's house, I thought that was so funny. And then to end that scene, the kid, he's just like, let's check all these light bulbs. And the kid's like, oh, man, I got homework to do, laundry to wash.
Bills to pay.
Got to do the car. In fact, after Clark Griswold unsuccessfully attempts to demonstrate his handiwork with the house Christmas lights to his family, he asks Rusty to help him check all the light bulbs again. Rusty looks at his bare wrist, pretending to have a watch, and excuses himself. Looking at a bare wrist and pretending to have a watch is one of Chevy Chase's trademark gags.
Yep.
So
you know who the kid is, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's the Johnny Galecki from Roseanne and Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
That scene's great, but also when he can't get the lights to turn on, and apparently they're run off a switch in the garage, and he's so confused. That's just I know that's not super smart comedy or anything like that. I don't give a shit. It's funny to me.
It doesn't need to be smart comedy. And another funny aspect of that scene was all the fucking extension cords. So many extension cords.
Oh, so many outlets in that house, man.
I was like, how is that house not burned down yet?
When he starts kicking the reindeer because he can't figure it out. Improving Chevy Chase is when Chevy Chase is at his best. And I felt like that was one of the times he was improving, when he couldn't figure out the damn lights.
Yeah. It was amazing. I loved it. The light scenes were great. That's a good cheat, because I only did the first time, but every time they messed with the lights, it was great.
That was your second favorite then?
Yeah, so you go ahead with your second favorite.
The family dinner scene. When the super old couple shows up and he asks her to say grace, and she starts reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh my God, that was so funny. Yes.
Cousin Eddie stands up
and
puts his hand on his heart. Oh man, that's phenomenal comedy.
I remember one time when I was just a little 14, 15-year-old kid, classic young, dumb, and full of cum. And me and a childhood friend were doing something, and Jimi Hendrix came on playing the national anthem with his teeth, the one.
Oh, and yeah.
We stopped what we were doing right there and put our hands on our chest, because proud to be an American, goddammit.
Hendrix brings it out in all of us.
He really fucking does. So that scene really hit me hard, because I'm just like, I used to be that guy.
Because this scene, you also get the ruined turkey. You get the electrocution of the cat.
Oh, which was probably the single most funniest thing that happened in the movie.
Oh, I mean, I'm a dog person, but I still like cats. But the electrocuted cat staying on the carpet, and Cousin Eddie going, that thing had 9 lives, and that took all of them.
Oh my God. Like I said, the single funniest thing that happened in the movie was the cat electrocution scene.
And the coup de grace, and where I end this scene, is, again, here is improvising Chevy Chase after he gets his Christmas bonus, which is the Jelly of the Month Club. And there's not a single line of that was written, I don't think. I think that was all Chevy Chase off the cuff. And
I
that's
got
the coup de grace of the scene for me.
I got it for you because this is my number one favorite scene. I did just this little bit. Chevy Chase doing just this is my number one favorite scene. I have
That's it? Just that scene, just that part of it?
Yep.
Or the whole dinner scene is your favorite? Or from the cat getting electrocuted to Chevy Chase's rant?
We'll do from the cat. I had just Chevy Chase's rant, but I'll do from the cat getting electrocuted to Chevy Chase's rant because the cat getting electrocuted was amazing. And then to follow that up with, hey, if any of you are looking for last minute gift ideas for me, I have one. I'd like Frank Shirley, my boss, right here tonight. I want him brought from his happy holiday slumber over here on Melody Lane with all the other rich people, and I want him brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
That is incredible. That is a hell of an insult or string of insults.
I have to agree with you. And just because we brought it up, it was rumored that Clark's rant about his boss was ad-libbed. While this is somewhat true, cast members not on screen were facing Chevy, and they all had different signs hanging around their necks that had one word written on them. Some of these were adjectives Clark used to describe his boss.
That's Chevy Chase at his best, right there.
Yes.
That's when he's at his best in that particular scene right there. And our scenes would have been really close if I didn't cheat, because I would have had the opening picking up the Christmas tree scene in there. But my favorite scene, and we don't really have to talk about it because we mentioned it quite a bit, every single time Randy Quaid, his cousin Eddie, is on the screen, this movie shines.
Yeah, Randy Quaid's amazing, just like he is in everything that he does. My favorite Randy Quaid performance is Independence Day. Like, it doesn't matter what he does.
Even like when they're going through the grocery store, he's cracking me up. He's never not cracking me up in this entire movie. These are roles like this that will never get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, but Randy Quaid in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation deserves a Best Supporting Actor nomination at minimum.
Minimum, my friend says. Do you hear him, Academy? Retroactively nominate him for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Feed
30 years later. 33 years later.
Feed into Randy Quaid's conspiracy theories. Nominate him now.
Is there anything else you want to add? I mean, really, the only thing that may be on here that we didn't talk about is the final scene when Chevy Chase is reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" and Randy Quaid shows up with his boss tied with dog chains.
Yeah, that was really funny. But other than it being, I mean, every time Randy Quaid's on the screen, we'll say it again.
So yeah, I cheated pretty hard, but if I didn't cheat, we'd have been really close. But fucking Randy Quaid, man.
And somebody needed to cheat on this. That's just how it needed to be.
Movie-related talk. It's our first Christmas movie of the year. So let's talk about Christmas movies. Jacob, what's your thought on Christmas movies? Let's start with, do you like Christmas movies?
I'm going to start off with this, actually, because it's the most important thing that needs to be said in this entire conversation. Is Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
You can say that. It's not a Christmas movie.
Fuck you. Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It takes place during a Christmas party. It's an office party movie, not a Christmas movie.
No.
But whatever.
John McClane was making the trip for Christmas. Anyways, we'll skip past that. I'll answer your original question. Do I like Christmas movies? And the answer is, what kind of Christmas movie? Like your Hallmark romance Christmas movies? No, not typically. Your classic Christmas movies? I guess it depends because I was forced to watch these fucking movies growing up as a tradition, quote unquote, in my house, and I hate that shit. And so, like, I don't like A Christmas Story or Miracle on 34th Street or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but I love Santa Claus with Tim Allen and the 2 sequels. I love Elf. I love Home Alone. I love fucking Die Hard because it's a fucking Christmas movie.
Jingle All the Way.
Love Jingle All the Way. Polar Express wasn't too bad. Not my favorite, but wasn't too bad. This movie wasn't bad.
I have a theory about Christmas movies. People only like Christmas movies they saw when they were kids. People do not like Christmas movies that they saw when they were adults.
That's your best argument for why Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, because everyone fucking likes that shit.
Yeah.
But I still won't accept it. It's not bad, because like I saw Home Alone around that time, saw Elf around that time. That's not a bad theory. Oh, Jack Frost. What's that? That's a Michael Keaton movie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Love
It's
Jack
trash.
Frost. Oh, it's trash.
Trash.
Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti. Give me more. I want to the Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I want to see. I want to see the new. Oh, there's one of my favorite kind of horror Christmas movies is Rare Exports. It's a. I think it's a Norwegian film. Great movie.
How about Reindeer Games with our boy Ben Affleck?
Never saw it.
Oh man.
But I'm down. I'm a big Ben Affleck fan. Yo, bro, Phantom Affleck was the bomb in Phantom, yo.
Stop quoting Kevin Smith movies.
Not when it can be helped.
And just for the record, we will do a shitty Hallmark style Christmas movie this month. Don't you guys worry.
Oh, they have to be done. Just because I don't like watching them doesn't mean they're not good to watch. Like I've already seen the Lindsay Lohan one. Everyone watch it. It's great, but not good enough for me to watch twice.
You ready to get into character breakdown?
Oh, you know it. And we got to start off with our man Chevy Chase, Clark Griswold.
Not my favorite performance of his in the Vacation trilogy. I think.
Are you ready for the mic drop moment of the episode?
Oh, bring it! Bring it!
This is my first Vacations movie.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised. You didn't watch a lot of the 80s comedies.
No, but you would have thought that I would have seen it at this point. Like I did watch Revenge of the Nerds. My dad put that on.
Yeah, but you haven't seen Caddyshack or Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Breakfast Club or stuff, have you? I guess Breakfast Club is not really a comedy, but
well, I saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Breakfast Club in high school because some kid I was friends with these triplets and they showed it to me and their parents loved those movies because of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're right. I haven't seen a lot of 80s comedies.
Yeah, but physical humor Chevy Chase and improv Chevy Chase is when he's at his best.
Okay.
And I think he's doing it in this movie. I like it in other movies more than this.
Okay.
Your thoughts on him?
I pretty much have to agree with you because I haven't seen a lot of Chevy Chase stuff. I just know his reputation of what he's good at, and when those things were happening in this movie, he was great. So I don't have a lot to say about Chevy Chase.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the number 2 character. Has got to be, should have been Oscar nominated Randy Quaid.
Has to be Cousin Eddie.
This is such a great character.
Everything Randy Quaid is in, he makes better. What other actors can say that?
Danny Trejo.
Correct. Nicolas Cage.
Michael K. Williams.
Yep.
Steve Buscemi.
John Toretto.
Yeah.
Turturro. John Goodman. So yeah, he's in their league. It's a good league to be in. Randy Quaid, you are welcome on the pod anytime. God, how fucking cool would that be?
We'll let you do one conspiracy theory.
Fuck that. If Randy Quaid comes on our
he can do whatever he wants. If Randy Quaid comes on, this can turn into the Alex Jones show for all I care.
Yeah, whatever fucking movie you want to do, about whatever conspiracy theory it is.
Randy, let me ask you a question, Randy. Tell me what you think about all the conspiracies. That's my Alex Jones impression, by the way.
I loved it. Loved it. But yeah, Randy Quaid was awesome.
Yeah, we've talked about it plenty leading up to this. My number one scene was every time Randy Quaid was on the screen.
Exactly. Who's the next character?
Probably Clark Griswold's wife, Beverly D'Angelo.
She was great. I love their chemistry.
Yeah, they have great chemistry in all the vacation movies. They're really good together, and it's a very, I think you'll probably agree with me on this. It's a very Modern Family, Julie Bowen, Ty Burrell relationship that they have.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
And it works so well. It works in all the vacation movies, and it works well in this. She really knows her role in these movies,
mm-hmm.
and plays them spectacularly, in my opinion.
She did a great job, and like I said, this is my first vacations movie that I've seen, so I don't know if we've seen her parents before, but I loved how similar she was to both of her parents, but how different she clearly was, because I mean, she's with Chevy Chase. Again, like she was great. One of my favorite parts about the movie was the wife.
And as far as these characters go, her mom is the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. Let that woman cook. She's freaking hilarious.
She's from Everybody Loves Raymond, and a personal favorite, Grandma's Boy.
Yes. She's so funny, and they did not let her cook in this movie like they should have.
I agree.
And Clark Griswold's coworker is freaking Alan Thicke. Let Alan Thicke cook, guys.
You had all the opportunities. This movie could have been great.
Let Julia Louis-Dreyfus cook. Let these people cook. They're really good, and you didn't give me enough of them, man. You didn't give me enough of them.
Let's do Julia Louis-Dreyfus next. She was amazing. Like I said, every time she was on the screen, I fucking loved it.
I have no idea what the point of those two characters were, but I'm with you. I still kind of chuckled every time they were on the screen.
They made the movie better, just like Randy Quaid did.
I hope he falls off that ladder and breaks his neck. Well, he'll probably fall off the ladder, but I doubt he's going to break his neck.
We could be so lucky. And do you want to talk about the kids? At least Juliette Lewis.
They're in the other vacation movies quite a bit more, and because kind of their role in this movie is essentially to be the kids that don't find Christmas magical anymore.
I love Juliette Lewis. I pretty much love everything she's in, so it doesn't even matter. Like, she's a little metalhead. I'm just like, right here, babe. Me too.
Yeah, no. They're definitely not bad in this. They're not in it very much.
That's fair. All right, on to the thick of the episode.
Your favorite part, huh?
Yes. Trivia and facts. Every time.
Let's bring it.
All right. I have quite a few trivia and facts of this movie. To start off, despite being a Christmas movie, Christmas Day is never actually seen. The film ends on Christmas Eve.
Yep. Unless it's like after midnight. I don't know.
When the family arrives, the doorbell rings 4 times. Each ring is deeper and more foreboding, implying impending doom. And we know how much my ass loves foreshadowing.
Yep. So you've got, so what is it? It's, I guess, the first set of in-laws, the second set of in-laws, Cousin Eddie and then the crazy old couple.
Yeah, but it was just both sets of in-laws at first when they rang the doorbell that first time.
Oh, so is the fourth ring the police?
Yep. All right, this is vacation trivia, so trivia that relates to the other movies. These shoes that cousin Eddie wears are the same ones that he gave Clark as a gift in the original Vacation movie.
Okay.
When Clark and cousin Eddie are talking in the living room, they are drinking eggnog out of Wally World mugs. Wally World was the destination of the Griswolds in National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yep.
Near the end of the film, Rusty says, "I told you we should have gone to Hawaii." In the first one, when asked where in the world he would like to go most, Rusty said Hawaii.
Good choice.
Brian Durham Murray appeared in two of the Vacation movies. In this one, he played Frank Shirley, Clark's boss. In the first one, he played the Camp Comfort clerk, where the Griswolds stopped to stay on their way to Wally World.
We hadn't mentioned him, but he's pretty funny in this movie.
He's one of that guys, and he's amazing.
Yes. When Clark's in there and he's like, "I'm on a business call," and then he picks up the phone, he's like, "Give me someone on the phone. Anyone.
Give me someone while I'm waiting." Cousin Eddie explains to Clark that his older kids couldn't make it because his daughter was at the clinic getting cured off the wild turkey, and his son was preparing for the career as a carnival worker. This is a reference to Cousin Vicky and Dustin and Cousin Dale from the National Lampoon's Vacation. Cousin Vicky returned in Vegas Vacation in '97, as well as Ruby Sue from this film.
All right. Okay.
This is the only movie in the Vacation series where Clark does not tell Rusty, "Shut up, Russ." The only time he comes close, he says, "Whatever, Russ, whatever," when Rusty corrects him about the phrase "burn rubber and eat my dust."
I don't like parents telling their kids to shut up.
Well, this was the 80s. Happened a lot. I mean, I guess it still happens. You don't like it now, too. With a younger Rusty and older Audrey, this is the first film in the Vacation series that disrupts the continuity of those characters aging, which became a running joke in the series from this point on. In the second film, although different actors were cast as Rusty and Audrey, they bore somewhat of a resemblance to the actors from the first film that it could be argued they were the same characters, only older. And this is also the only movie where the actress that plays Audrey is taller than the actor that plays Rusty.
Okay.
When Clark's boss is kidnapped and brought to the house, Ellen says, "This is our family's first kidnapping." Similar to her line in the original Vacation, "This is our first gun."
Oh, the first one's good, man.
I want to watch it now. Chevy Chase This is Clark trivia. So Chevy Chase appeared in some scenes wearing a navy blue Chicago Bears ball cap. He wore the same Chicago Bears cap throughout the first two Vacation movies.
Yeah, we're men. We have like 3 hats. What do you want from us?
Yep. And the 80s, God, the Bears were good in the 80s.
Yeah, they were.
After failing to get the Christmas lights to work one last time, Clark takes his frustration out on the plastic decorations in the front yard. Chevy Chase actually broke his pinky finger while punching Santa Claus. He resorts to kicking and clubbing the decorations after that. The film kept rolling and the take was used. I love when that shit happens.
How do you break your pinky?
You just punch it the wrong way because he's really just swinging his shit around in that scene. After cutting down the replacement tree with the chainsaw, Clark starts down the stairs and finds the newel post loose. He then lops it off with the chainsaw and announces that he has fixed the newel post. Similarly, George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life was constantly irritated by a loose newel post at the bottom of the stairs. So, throwback to a classic Christmas movie. The messenger who delivers Clark's Christmas bonus is wearing a jacket that reads Speedball Messenger Service. Speedball is a street term for a drug cocktail of heroin and cocaine, the same mixture that killed John Belushi. After Clark's boss asks Clark to make notes for his meeting, he gets Clark's name wrong. Clark gives greetings to the entire entourage. On the 8th person, he wishes them Happy Hanukkah, in which the number 8 is significant. I just have 2 Randy Quaid pieces of trivia. According to Randy Quaid, many of Cousin Eddie's characteristics, most notably the clicking of the tongue, were based off of a guy that Quaid knew from when he grew up in Texas years ago who had similar traits.
I thought there
And
was a lot of Texan in Cousin Eddie.
yeah, for sure. The brand of beer Eddie is drinking as he empties his septic tank is Meister Bro. As of 2016, the Meister Bro name and recipe has been bought out and discontinued.
Man, I want to be like Cousin Eddie. Drink it.
I know. Chitter's full. Just drinking a fucking beer, just loosen down shit down into the public's. Anyways, it was so funny. Here's all my random movie trivia. There's a deleted post-credit scene that would have had the blow mold Santa sleigh that is blasted into the sky by the sewer explosion crashing into Todd and Margot's bedroom roof after Todd makes a Santa joke before falling asleep. I would have loved that because, again, every time Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on screen was amazing.
Yeah, I don't know why they took that out. That sounds hilarious.
Oh, it would have been amazing. The term Griswold house soon became a part of the American and Australian vernacular to describe a house that is overly decorated in a gaudy fashion to observe Christmas.
Yep, I still say it.
Had no idea. A Walmart... I put this trivia in here because I found it so funny considering that we're how we live in 2022. They should take this trivia off of IMDb. A Walmart storefront appeared in the film with an empty parking lot. At the time of the film's release, Walmart did not have their stores operating 24 hours a day. They don't anymore either, biatch! This began when the chain was remodeled a few years later, and the company converted their stores to supercenters, similar to its Sam wholesale club stores without the annual membership fees. In real life, the slang for Walmart is Wally World, appropriating the name of Wally World theme park for the first film.
Yeah, when I was in college, it was a big player to go to Walmart at frickin' midnight because no one else was there, and you could get your groceries in and out and not have to wait in a 30-minute fucking line to check out.
Oh, working service industry, just being able to go to Walmart in the middle of the night has always been great. And they stole it from us. Producer John Hughes originally brought on Chris Columbus to direct, but even before cameras could roll, Columbus came to the realization that he could just not work with the difficult Chevy Chase after meeting him. So even though he desperately needed the job at that point in his career, Columbus decided to quit the project. He was worried it was the end of his career, but then Hughes brought him to direct Home Alone, which became a massive hit a year later, earning over 6 times the amount of money Christmas Vacation did with a budget of almost $10 million less. He also went on to direct Home Alone 2 and Only the Lonely in 1991.
And he sailed the ocean blue in 1492. He hit a rock and skinned his cock and pissed all over the crew.
Boom. Roasted. The old Dodge pickup that tailgated Clark and the family in the opening scene of the movie was previously used as Kurt Russell's work truck in the classic movie Overboard.
Classic.
I love that movie. As the Griswold's family members are arriving at the front door, It's a Wonderful Life is showing on the television. That film was directed by Frank Crappa. Crappa's grandson, Frank Crappa III, was assistant director on this film. Love when movies do that shit.
Advantage when you're born into a family that has money and power.
Yeah, it's called winning the lottery. When shopping with Clark, Eddie asked Clark if it was his company that, quote, killed all those people in India. He's referencing the bio disaster, also known as the Union Carbide disaster, in which leaks from a Union Carbide pesticide plant escaped into the air. Thousands of people died and many more were sickened.
I was not aware of that story.
There's some holiday comedy for you. Thought that was very dark.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you
Merry
filthy
Christmas.
animal.
Remember that time they killed thousands of Indians?
Although Christmas Vacation takes place...
Columbus should have directed this.
Perfect. Although Christmas Vacation takes place in the Chicago area, the movie was shot in Burbank, California at the Warner Bros. Studios. However, for a number of the outdoors, they filmed on location in Breckenridge, Colorado, because at that time of year they traditionally had the biggest snowfall. But when they arrived, they freaked out when they discovered there was no snow. So they had a convoy of trucks haul in snow for certain locations. As soon as they arrived, it started snowing and dropped 10 feet in 3 days. It became near impossible to actually shoot because there was so much snow. They had to take snowcats just to get to their filming locations.
All right.
So
Shout out
pretty
Breckenridge.
fucking nuts.
Breckenridge, if you want to give us a couple ski passes, we'll promote you on this podcast.
We sure will. The house in which the Griswolds' neighbors live is the same house where the Murtaugh family lived in all 4 Lethal Weapon movies. The houses on this street are on Warner Brothers' back lot. In each Griswold Vacation movie, Rusty and Audrey are played by different actors, while in all 4 Lethal Weapon movies, the 3 Murtaugh kids were played by the same actors. The Lethal Weapon films featured product placement mainly from GM vehicles, while the Vacation films featured product placement mainly for Ford vehicles. Speaking of Danny Glover movies, 2 Christmas Vacation stars have immediate family who appeared in movies with Danny Glover. Juliette Lewis's father, Jeffrey Lewis, appeared in the Mel Gibson movie Maverick in '94 during the Danny Glover cameo, and Randy Quaid's brother Dennis Quaid starred with Glover in Switchback.
All right.
Yeah, I know how much you love Lethal Weapon.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Beverly D'Angelo improvised grabbing Chevy Chase's crotch when the SWAT team holds up the house. She later said she did it on only one take on the off chance it would make the film's final cut, which is what happened. So twice that happened. When Chevy Chase broke his pinky and then this one.
Then the crotch grab.
Yeah, love that. The scene where the cat bit the electron lights cord and got electrocuted was nearly cut from the movie prior to the first test screening. The studio executives wanted the scene taken out, fearing that it might offend some viewers. But producer Matt Simmons begged them to leave the scene in, and they eventually gave in to his request. After the first test screening, the test audience scored the cat electrocution scene as their number 1 favorite scene throughout the entire movie. Christmas lights cord electrocution scene. Trivia.
So this is the part of the podcast that we usually do a impersonation. I don't really know if there's anything to impersonate.
So we had some technical difficulties when recording the episode, and you can't really tell what's being said here. This is the start of our impersonation segment, and instead of doing an impersonation segment, we decided to talk about the worst things we think about the Christmas holidays. There's not really a good impersonation to do for this movie. And we both hate a lot of things about Christmas. Part of the things that you're missing in this part of the conversation, BJ started off talking about how much he hates buying gifts for people. Doesn't know what to get people, doesn't really know, especially when you're a coworker. Like, if you're my 7th favorite coworker, you're my 60th favorite person in my life. And I second that because I'm just like, let's buy fucking gift cards for people. Come the fuck on. But anyways, that's a lot of what you missed. Keep enjoying the episode, and you're going to be jumping right back into the middle of our what we hate about the holiday segment.
But yeah, it's like, dude, you're my 7th favorite coworker. You're literally like the 60th most important person of my life. Here's a fucking gift card to H&M. Enjoy it.
Hell, even if you're my family member, I'm just like, just go get something that you'd like. I don't fucking know what you want. I know what my significant other wants, and that's it.
Here's what I kind of wish we would do in the world. Just when you see something that reminds you of somebody, you get it for them and just give it to them and be like, I don't have to get you anything for Christmas or your birthday now because I got you the Office Pez dispenser heads.
That's how I want to live my life. That's how I want to do gifts. That's the ideal world. I'm good at the claw machines. And I walked by a claw machine one day and I saw this little NFL dude for this team that one of my friends liked. And so I spent $2.50 there getting it. And I was just like, here you go, bro. Thought about you. Perfect gift.
Yeah. And you should not have to get him something for Christmas because you did that.
And if I don't get you a gift throughout the year, I still don't have to get you something for Christmas. Fuck you.
So did I steal your most annoying part about Christmas?
No, the most annoying part about Christmas to me is all the traditions. My family makes such a big deal about all the annoying Christmas traditions, and I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. It's cool that you like it. It's cool that you want to do it, but leave me the fuck alone.
So you have like more than like one or two traditions?
Oh my God, BJ, let's list them. We have cutting down the tree, and you have to go to a Christmas tree farm where you can cut down the tree. Like sometimes you have to drive like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Driving to Christmas lights, and I don't mean neighborhoods. I mean going to one of those places that's like 10 acres to drive through the Christmas lights show.
Oh man, what a waste of an hour and a half those are.
After you get the tree the day after, the entire family stays in the house to decorate it with the homemade decorations that my mom has saved over the entire 30 years she's had kids.
Ooh, so it's just like bad Christmas decorations you made in third grade hanging from the natural tree that you cut down?
Correct. Yes. And then we just add more traditions. And then everyone in my family gets such a hard-on about it. My brother, who's been on this pod, fuck him. He gets such a hard-on for these fucking traditions. And then I get fucking stuck all the fucking time.
Oh, man, you're not happy right now.
No.
So, sorry I bummed you out for this impersonation segment.
It's okay.
Well, I guess we can move on to our ratings of the movie.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first since I was the virgin?
You can go first.
I give this movie a 6.5.
Okay. All right. So a little bit low. I think IMDb had it at 7.5. You had it at 6.5. And I guess we know what your standard for mediocre movie is now.
Yeah, about a 6.5.
Or would you consider this movie slightly above mediocre?
No, it's mediocre. It's just okay. Okay and mediocre are the same thing.
Okay. So I think I would have this movie as a 6.5, but for me, Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie bumps it up from a 6.5 to a 7.5. I guess the exact same score that it is on IMDb, which is a 7.5, which to me is a good, not great movie. And I think this movie just perfectly represents good, not great.
Fair. Should they remake this? I mean, they do all the time, every year. It's just a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a family Christmas comedy.
Yep. Keep doing it. Who cares?
Yeah, you're going to. People are going to see it because people get hard-ons for Christmas for like 2 months now.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, just stop. Probably my second favorite part of the pod. IMDb reviews.
How were they for this one?
They were not bad, and they were easy to find. I found the bad review, first one out of 10 review I read. I didn't even read any other one. I was like, this is the one.
Love it when that happens.
And we have a one-line review, and we love our one-liner reviews here. This one's titled "Merry Christmas" by Bevo 1367830.
It's a UT fan.
Sure.
The mascot is a longhorn cattle named Bevo.
Okay. His movie review. I love this movie, especially the bit with the Christmas lights.
That's the review?
That's it.
Okay. Well, sign me up to watch it then.
Right. Knew you would love that, especially with you cheating with the Christmas lights.
Yeah, I love the Christmas light scenes.
My next 10 out of 10 review, by Sophia Hedge 30, titled "This movie was so insane that I had a wonderful time." I watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation just now, and I have a lot to say about this movie. The crazy events that take place in this film are so insane that it entertained me. The humor in the movie brought me joy. The script was cleverly written. The movie had a jovial tone to it. Usually, whenever a movie has strange antics, I don't really like it. But this movie managed to pull off the so strange that it's good idea so well that I couldn't hate it at all. The movie is a funny madcap holiday comedy that is perfect for getting the holidays started. That's it. They love the movie.
They did. This sounds like they're going to watch this movie every year, some point in December.
And they literally just watched it in 2020.
Well, I'm glad they found it.
All right, my 1 out of 10, and this is one of the better ones that I've read too. I've been finding a lot of good bad ones lately. This is by Apprehensive Spaghetti 16, and what a fucking name!
Incredible username.
That's a username right there. Apprehensive Spaghetti 16. No matter what you have to say, you're welcome on this pod just by sheer creativity for usernames. Titled, I Can't Put It Into Words. This is one of my most hated movies. It is not some charming Christmas movie.
Yes, it is.
This is cinematic filth. One of the most.
No, it's just a charming Christmas movie.
One of the most annoying, vulgar things put to celluloid. The Griswold family are as unlikable as the Mason family, and they made me laugh about as much. Personally, my traditional holiday movie has been A Christmas Story. It's funny. It's cute. It's fun for the whole family to enjoy.
Wait. A Christmas Story is funny?
It's funny. It's cute. It's fun for the whole family to enjoy. In fact, quote, it's 10,000 light years ahead of this dreg, and it doesn't even try to be so slimy. If crude, obvious sexual humor, dogs humping legs, and stereotypes done to hell and back even by the time it was made are your version of funny, this is your movie. Clark, I hope you drown in that pool.
Ooh, that got dark.
Yes, it did.
They want a fictional character to die.
They do. By drowning, one of the worst ways to die. I would assume.
Yeah, that you know, I'm kind of surprised on the bad movies because this seems like a movie that it is really hard to despise. Like I understand your thoughts on it of just like, I don't know, it was okay. I probably won't ever watch it again. But to despise this movie, that's kind of weird.
Agreed. So yeah, those are my good and bad reviews. That bad one got dark, but man, it was fun to read. That's for sure.
And a great username still.
Yes, a great username. Apprehensive Spaghetti 16. I love it. Should people watch this movie? And the answer is if you want to.
Yeah, I don't think this falls in the must-watch Christmas category. The biggest thing is Cousin Eddie.
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, it's not bad. You're not going to waste your time. It's an hour and 37 minutes. It's not long.
It's an hour and 37 minutes, and you'll get some laughs in.
Yeah. So that was us at I Remember My First Time. I swear to God, we're going to start posting on social media again. Please just listen to our show. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, IRMFT Pod. That's where we are. Tell us what movie you want us to do. Even if it's not streaming, if you reach out and tell us what movie you want to do, we'll do it. Just some interaction.
Yeah. Tell us what you think of the movies that we do.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a IMDb score, a Rotten Tomatoes score, and an IRMFT audience score.
That's what we're going to fucking do, and we're going to post it on the IMDb trivia. We're at least going to put whether we think you should watch it or not. Because why not?
That's us at I Remember My First Time.
Yeah, join us next week for our next Christmas film.
Bye.
So we ended this podcast not knowing which movie we were going to do next week. And we now know that it's a choice between two. It's going to be the new Christmas movie, Violent Night, now in theaters with David Attenborough. My brother just watched it. He said it was incredible. He's our guest for the next episode. And he said we should do that one. So it'll either be that one or it'll be a classic bad movie for the Christmas season with the awesomely named movie Santa Jaws on Amazon Prime. Follow our social media to figure out which one we're doing.